Help support AMTV by becoming a patron, an AMTV staff member, and following us over on Twitter.
Hi there guys, it's Adam Martin here, and welcome back to another episode of the Now Review. Now, we did already cover a Noughties album from Now, but this is the older version. So here is Now That's What I Call the Noughties. Or Now That's What I Call the 00s, as someone once said to me, and I said, what are you doing? Anyway, this is the album of the Noughties. This actually came out in 2010, so at the start of that decade, this was released. So it makes me wonder if at the start of 2020 we're going to get a Now That's What I Call the Teens. We'll have to find out, won't we? It's 3 CDs in a lovely old fat box that was still being used in 2010. There is the spine. And the cover, so we're going with sort of like the crocodile clippers providing light to the Noughties logo. I guess they were quite lively, weren't they? I did love the Noughties, mainly what I grew up in. So, what does it say? Featuring the biggest and the best hits from 2000 to 2009, we'll be the judge of that. I got a feeling that was everywhere in 2009. Poker Face, I Kissed a Girl, Shine, Beat Again. So this one is, I'm saying it's 2008-9, it's going back. Some really classic songs in here. Songs I grew up with, Dance at the School Disco, all that sort of stuff. Closing out with America by Razorlight. Yeah, nice song there. CD2, Hung Up by Madonna. Big banger in the middle of that decade. Rehab, Crazy Dare, Take Me Out. Mr. Brightside, which is still a big hit today, really. Hips Don't Lie. What are we closing this one out? You Raise Me Up by Westlife. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous song to finish that one on. And CD3, Hey Ya, Rock DJ, Can't Get Out of My Head. These are absolutely brilliant. This is more towards the start of the decade, looking at it. Whole Again by Atomic Kitten, goodness. Leave Right Now, Life is a Roller Coaster. What are we finishing on here? We are finishing with Make Love by Room 5 Feet, Oliver Cheatham. Don't actually remember that one. But yeah, I remember most of these tracks. There's about 60 on here. And according to the advert, more than 50 of them are number one, so that's quite impressive. But this is an absolute great track list. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Let's open this guy up. Now, I got this second hand, so I don't have a brochure, a little booklet, which is a shame. Or maybe it didn't come with one. Let me know in the comments. CD1, so you got pink and yellow. I've always liked this design where all the info's like down there. It's very arty, I think, rather than having like the logo on the front there. So I actually really like this. Disc 2, you've got inverted yellow and pink, which looks quite nice, but I think I prefer this disc design. Then if we open the second part, the fat box, is the disc going to fall out? No, that's a rarity. So you've got a sort of bluey, it looks more blue on camera, but it's kind of a purple as well. Oh, that's CD2. I just can't read. Sorry, everyone. CD2, yeah, that's blue. And then that must be CD3. It is. I've put them in the wrong way. Silly me. But yeah, simple disc designs. It was a simpler time, 2010, when this came out, guys. Simpler time. Right then, so with no booklet to look at, let's have another look at the track list. This is a pretty comprehensive look at the 2000s as a whole. I know the recent release that came out a few years ago, which was also called Now That's What I Call the Noughties, had like a few more songs. It's changed a few things up, but for the most part, a lot of what is on here is on that one as well. And considering a lot of this disc, a lot of these songs were still fairly new, like say Beat Again by JLS, Poker Face, I Got a Feeling, etc. It's nice to have that on a package there. They've put Black and Gold by Sam Sparro, which is one of my favourite songs that I grew up to. And not a lot of people might remember it, but I'm so glad it's on... Ooh, don't nick the camera. I'm so glad it's on this album. I'm not sure if it's on the more modern album. I'll have to cross-reference that. But, I mean, should you buy it? Well, if you grew up in the noughties like I did, if you are a school disco kid of the noughties, you're gonna love this album. What I'd do first is just double-check this release and then the more modern release, which you can actually still get in shops like HMV for now, I think. It might not be there for long. I got this one second hand. This was only about £2.50 off Music Magpie, so you can check there, you can check eBay, you can check CEX if you're so inclined. But yeah, double check the two track lists, because this track list might be better for you than the other one. As I said though, a lot of songs on both albums do cross over, because they're going for the big hits of the noughties, so it only makes sense that both of them have it. They're just released a couple of years apart. On the whole, is this a good album? Yes. For its theming, yes, this is a really good album. It represents the noughties wonderfully, with a great selection of tracks. I wouldn't be surprised if in 2020 we get a now 100 hits noughties, because we've had the 70s, we've had the 80s, the 90s have all had a bit of a look in, whether that's mainstream or forgotten. So it's only right that the noughties will get its time in the spotlight very, very soon. And as I said, who knows, maybe as we get into 2020, we will get a Now That's What I Call the Tens, or the Teens, or however you want to call it. But that is all for this instalment of the Now Review. Thank you very much for watching. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below. Let me know if you own this version of Now That's What I Call the Noughties. And until the next one, I will see you guys next time.
Thank you to our patrons for helping to support the show, and a special thank you to Macra, Hooks Media, Ben Freeman, Ethan Carberry-Holt, Bruce Danton, The Broken Kitsumanoid, and Francine Salazar, our AMTV staff members.